What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Compared to other alternatives, Bitcoins have a number of advantages. Bitcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net, without going through a bank or clearinghouse. This means that the fees are much lower, you can use them in every country, your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Bitcoins are generated all over the internet by anybody running a free application called a Bitcoin miner. Mining requires a certain amount of work for each block of coins. This amount is automatically adjusted by the network such that Bitcoins are always created at a predictable and limited rate. Your Bitcoins are stored in your digital wallet, which might look familiar if you use online banking. When you transfer Bitcoins, an electronic signature is added. After a few minutes, the transaction is verified by a miner and permanently and anonymously stored in the network. The Bitcoin software is completely open source and anybody can review the code. Bitcoin is changing finance the same way the web changed publishing. When everyone has access to a global market, great ideas flourish. Let's look at some examples of how Bitcoins are already used today. You can purchase video games, gifts, books, servers, and alpaca socks. Several currency exchanges exist where you can trade your Bitcoins for dollars, euros, and more.
You know, one of the other key examples is elections, fraud-proof elections, because everyone has a copy of the record.
Okay, guys, welcome back to this week's Grimerica show. We're going to be chatting with Jim Vandeventer a little bit later about Bitcoins.
Mining Bitcoins.
Mining Bitcoins. RPJ joins us for that one.
Thank God.
Thank God. Who's your God?
Godza.
Godza. Thank Gods. Okay, I didn't catch the S on the end. And, of course, we're going to have our MoneyBomb winner, Justin, and our newsletter editor-in-chief. And we're going to talk to Pat O about his movie a little bit later. But first, as always,
the Grim.
Ramblin' Graham Dunlop.
The Grim. Hey, guys. Good to see you. Happy to be here.
How's it going, Ramblin' Graham?
It's going okay. Just doing a little, getting over my bronchitis. So you might hear some coughs and a little bit of a weird voice. So if you don't want to hear these lazy ramblings, just fast forward to the interview.
The interview starts at 27:32.
There you go. Yeah. So I have to apologize to the spam people.
Spam people?
Yeah, because I feel bad. Like, the spam was actually pretty good, and we were kind of making fun of it for a while. And I think it's actually kind of healthy. There's not much garbage in it, I don't think. I think it's pretty clean.
The ingredients do seem pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, and it was actually pretty good. I had it with French toast and pancakes.
How was it?
And just in a frying pan like you suggested. So, that's it.
It was delicious?
It was actually pretty good. A little salty.
It is salty. I wonder, there's got to be you got to pair it with certain things and you can cut through that saltiness.
Yeah, that's why I used syrup on my pancakes. And
sweet and salty?
Yeah. That's the trick.
That was your high school nickname.
It was green eggs and gray ham, really.
So, what'd you find on that website?
So Justin and I were talking about spam because he's got a bunch of he's listened to a podcast about spam.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it sponsored by spam?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It's not like a native advertisement.
I guess that's the closest thing we have to a sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. Spam. And then, so this all came about because Darren's asking people to spam me, which is spam gram. So just so people that are new to listening, they understand why we're talking about spam.
We're
it's a
rambling on
meme.
about.
So Justin says he goes to the website that has the podcast about spam, and he says they've got Moai. Is that what they're called? No.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Moai from Easter Island with headphones on. They stole our shtick. They must have known about that. What? You don't know?
What's the URL?
It's missedinhistory.com.
Misted? M-I-S-S-E-D?
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep talking. So tell us, Justin, about spam.
It actually has a very long history, and it's very, very interesting.
No shit. And you know it?
No, not in the least. Very, very little bit. That's why I was checking the website out just to kind of refresh myself, and that's when I came across the stolen imagery, the the icons of Grimerica on this website. And it's funny because right underneath it says, "Listen to the podcast now."
I'm gonna email that to Red Pill Junkie and say that's where you got your.
You should
from.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually the history of spam. It just not like I sought out this podcast. It's a podcast I listened to. It's Missed in History, and that showed up in my feed, and I thought it was rather fitting for Spam and his culinary adventures with it.
Who ripped off who? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's been up there, but like I'm looking at it right now. It looks like there's like a spam pie of some sort. It doesn't look that appetizing, actually.
I'm not seeing fuck all about spam here.
Well, like I went up in the search bar and typed in spam.
Oh, I'm on missedinhistory.com.
Well, yeah, in the Missed in History site, go to the search bar and type in spam, and then it'll take you to that episode of I was talking about.
Ooh, spam.
Yeah.
There you go. You found it.
A culinary history.
I want.
You want recipes?
Well, we can't just play someone else's podcast on the podcast, can we?
Well, you could, but you don't want. I mean, do you need to do that?
That's just more rambling.
Yeah.
Rambling within rambling.
That's right. Multiple layers of
for a dream
lazy rambling.
What's that one where they go into the fucking dream world?
Inception.
Yeah.
It's spamception
of rambling. Spamception. Yeah, well, send in your spam recipes. Didn't you get a couple spam recipes?
Well,
we should have a
I already talked about the other one that I got, so.
People should send you more.
Sure.
Spam.
Anyways, I apologize to the makers of spam.
You do a public apology?
Yeah.
Which is Hormel, so.
Oh, is it? Which is owned by like probably one of the 5 main food companies.
I'm pretty sure it's owned by Hormel, and I think it's that they're their own entity. That's
amazing.
Well, I think spam's like what put them over, like being able to self-sustain themselves.
Yeah.
Is it cheap?
No, like not like a can like here is like $5.50 US.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty expensive.
I don't know how many ounces a can. I think it's like I have no idea. I think it's like 12 or 16.
7.
It could be 7. It could be.
I wonder how much it is at Walmart here. 12 ouncer. $3. Hormel. That looks like the same size can. $3.40. How big's yours?
No, it's 7 ounces. I said, yeah. You didn't.
How many grams?
Well, it's 7 ounces.
What the fuck? How many grams?
How many
grams?
Why would it say grams if it's America?
Oh, yeah, that sounds.
Oh, it does say it. 198, I think. I need a magnifying glass.
Oh, so this is fucking double that.
Yeah.
Almost double that.
Yeah.
For $3.
Yeah.
And this is Walmart Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fucking load up on this shit. This shit, how long is it good for? Like 4 years? I'll bury some in the yard.
It's indefinite.
Just in case.
Get it with your seeds.
No,
your next shipment.
No fucking seeds.
Spam has a 30-year shelf life.
Does it?
No, I'm making that up. Don't trust me on that. I don't want anyone to get sick of food poisoning from eating 30-year-old spam and blame it on Grimerica.
You could probably even get a deal if you bought like a fucking 53-foot trailer full of it. Just fucking take it up to my cottage in the country, man. A couple sea cans full of that shit. You're good to go.
There's probably a couple price breaks in there.
Fucking shoot some deer and shit. Spam, just in case. That's your backup. So you don't have to hunt every day. You don't have to be super violent. What would you do if you lived in the woods, Graham? Would you eat the deers and shit?
I'd learn to eat berries and grass.
Seriously? Cut out the meat?
Probably, yeah.
Do you prefer to get your meat from a fucking factory farming system than out hunting in the wild?
I don't eat a lot of meat, really.
That takes us back to the Mike Hawk days. Anyway,
Mike Hawk.
So speaking of spam, do you have any spam?
Yeah, well, I got some feedback that you sent me. I was going to mention.
Sent you?
Yeah.
Was it positive? Was I a positive feedbacker?
Yeah, it was. Love what you two are doing with the podcast. Just want to let you know I enjoy the guests, enjoy the content, and you guys make it seem like everyone could make a decent podcast if they try hard enough. I'm going to be starting my own show pretty soon. Keep up the great work. Oh, and by the way, definitely get those two on in the future if you can. He's talking about a couple guests, James Swagger and somebody else. They're awesome. So I don't know how to take that, actually. That's from Earl Bowman 5.
Earl Bowman?
Yeah. So he says he enjoys the content and the guests, but we make it seem like anybody can start up their own podcast. So
anybody can.
Yeah.
If we can do it, fucking anybody can do it.
So thanks for the feedback.
Yes, we've been getting quite, he came from the YouTubes.
Oh,
A lot of people have been coming from the YouTubes. Oh yeah, I got this one. So on the idea, I can't remember, this must be from the Rick Strassman episode. On the idea of things happening and experts never seeing it, I have something to share. Chris Hedges, an amazing journalist with a background in theology, tells a story of the Berlin Wall. He was sitting in a meeting with the heads of the groups in Germany trying to take down the wall. During that very meeting, reports came in that the wall began to come down. Not a single member of any group was aware it was going to happen. Moments in history happen exactly when they are supposed to happen, not due to careful planning of leaders, but spontaneous, positive action from citizens.
Wow. That was pretty cool. Where'd you get that from? That's from one of our YouTubers?
Comment, yeah. That's a comment on, that's a comment on the Philip Metzger episode, I think. That's the only Philip we've ever interviewed, I think, right? Philip Metzger.
Philip Kamela. Collapse of Materialism. It's probably from that one. That seems more suited to spontaneous human intervention as opposed to like mining
if I flip
asteroids.
my phone on my side, it finishes the last name. It's Philip Kamela. Anyway, congrats to Justin winning the MoneyBomb.
Woohoo!
I wonder if people think, hopefully people don't think we set it up.
That doesn't matter what people think. They have to trust us, right?
That's true.
I pulled it out, or my girlfriend pulled it out. Yeah.
You gotta be
tell your girlfriend I said thanks.
Pulled it out of the hat.
Yeah, well, it ended up right back in the pod anyway, so big thanks to Justin on that.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that should get us going for this month, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're at. We, like I say, the subscribers have been picking up, so it's good. It seems like with enough time and effort, the value for value model can really, that's all you really need. So we got rid of our Amazon portals and all that shit, and we'll just go straight up on honor system, I suppose.
I think we should talk about the MoneyBomb a bit here.
MoneyBomb?
Yeah, MoneyBomb a bit since just for people that aren't sure about it, right? This is a way that we're trying to raise money to help our expenses in the show here, right? Because it's free. All the content is free. There's no ads, no sponsorship really, except for spam and maybe inner traditions.
Maybe spam will fucking send us case spam for free. We talk about this all the time.
We even have a jingle. Yeah, you should email spam. So anyways, we gift back 50% of our donations, hopefully every month, as long as it's like a minimum of $100. We call it our 50-50 MoneyBomb. So it's getting up there. Justin, how much did you win last time?
Oh, I think I got like 131 US.
That's not bad.
Or maybe it was Canadian. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The exchange is rough. Actually, I think
it is rough.
Now would be the time to win.
So anyways, Justin was a gentleman, and he put it back into the MoneyBomb, so we should be having another one this month.
Yeah. Which is what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks left to jump in.
Yeah, you can do that in many ways. Go to grimerica.ca/moneybomb. You can donate any amount. You can also sign up for $5 a month for a Grimerica email address.
Well, supplies last.
Well, supplies last.
So hammer that down. Yeah, the subscribers have been picking up. So let's keep that going, hopefully. And yeah, boom, boom, boom. And check out the newsletter produced by Justin. Grimerica.ca/news. Those have been looking good.
Sign up your friends.
Sign up your friends.
This is how you get them into the podcast. You don't even have to tell them about it. Just sign them up for the newsletter.
You're like, fuck it, I'm done. I don't, even if you don't want to have the awkward conversation, but you know their email address. Go to Grimerica.ca/news. Punch in their email. Boom, they're going to hear about the show. They're going to know what the fuck we're up to. You don't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
You can sign up I will make sure it gets to them.
So, so speaking of that, Justin, what was I going to ask you? Did you noticed how we spell Sasquatch in the prairies?
Oh, on the back of your shirt.
Who lives in? We don't live in the prairies.
Well, we're close to the prairies. I'm talking about the Sasquatch that hangs around Saskatchewan, right?
Oh, okay. We know that makes more sense. I had never seen it spelt that way in like all of my reading.
Bullshit. He just spelt it wrong.
I think that's went down. I wasn't going to call you out on it on air, but
that's okay.
But it's out there now.
I'm glad to see. I knew about it from my mom and my sister and my girlfriend. They noticed it, and it turned into this big inside joke because my girlfriend's from Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah.
And Sask, right? So
yeah.
So I was waiting to see who would discover it.
What was it like when you first noticed it? Were you like,
they were? I was just like, what? And they were all laughing at me. It was a big joke. And
you have 50 T-shirts.
And then I'm glad that Justin, the Bigfoot guy himself, found it. Yeah.
That's right. You're a resident Bigfoot expert.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd be called that, but right on. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nobody else has called us on it yet.
No.
Well, they will now.
Red Pill Junkie would have noticed for sure.
I guess nobody can see the back of it.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody can see the back of it. And usually we're one, you know what I mean? People that are into the paranormal are kind of, they're not really hanging out together usually. Maybe they don't live close together, you know what I mean? Most of your buddies probably aren't into the paranormal, so you never see your back. So nobody that gives a fuck about Sasquatch ever sees the back of your shirt. Except Justin.
Except for me.
How'd you see the back? Oh, you just seen it from the picture. We got to take
it was on Twitter.
Down.
Yeah.
If we take those pictures down.
Yeah, it was on the tweeters.
Now everybody knows. Now the shirts have been getting fucking coming back in the mail.
I think you got like 17.3 thousand followers on Twitter, so every single one of them saw it.
That's spelled wrong.
The world knows.
Everybody knows by now.
Don't you have some negative feedback for us, Darren?
Don't I? Not handy.
Well, really?
It's on my laptop. It basically amounted to you being a rambling, lazy rambler.
Yeah.
Lazy rambler. Well, you and me together, I suppose.
No, but seriously, if you don't want to hear our lazy ramblings, you can always just fast forward to the interview because we actually have some intelligent conversations there.
Yeah,
because I used to like listening to intros and on some shows, and some shows I just like to listen to the interview. So most of the formats here you can fast forward, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Or you can put it on double speed.
Yeah, you can do that too. Then it's not so lazy.
Exactly. We're like, you can't even keep up with us. Perfect. Problem solved. So hey, I should. You guys, what do you got? Something to talk about? Oh, you know what I'll do? Okay. I'll fucking hammer this shit down.
Profound UFO quote of the week.
All right, time for Graham's profound UFO quote of the week. Skeptics who flatly deny the existence of any unexplained phenomena in the name of rationalism are among the primary contributors to the rejection of science by the public. People are not stupid, and they know very well when they have seen something out of the ordinary. When a so-called expert tells them the object must have been the moon or a mirage, He is really teaching the public that science is impotent or unwilling to pursue the study of the unknown.
What does it say?
Pursue. Yeah, the study of the unknown. That's Dr. Jacques Vallée, astrophysicist.
Ooh, a valayer.
Yeah.
That was a getter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not trying to sneak out any extra ones this week.
No.
Synchronicities you need crushed.
No, I don't have any synchronicities I need crushed.
Hey, I got one.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was talking about with my friends about spam, and I go to this website, and they have this Moai with headphones on it, and it's crazy because these guys have a podcast where their logo is a Moai with headphones on it. What do you rate that?
More plagiarism than synchronicity.
No, it's a synchronicity.
You think it's a synchronicity?
Yeah, totally. Because he was talking to us right now, and he went there.
That's true.
Oh, that was the first time you seen that?
Yeah, it's the first time I even went to that site.
Yeah. And we were talking about spam before you came down.
After you Googled spam.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not fucking you, Justin.
No, I didn't Google spam. I went to that website.
How'd you end up
because
on
I
that
have
website?
them. I typed it in. I knew that their website was missedinhistory.com because I listened to their podcast weekly. And so I went to missedinhistory.com and there it was. Now, regardless of what point score you give me, it has to have a 0.42 because it's dealing with the show.
Dealing with the show whilst on the show.
Ooh, yeah, that's spamception right there.
Wow. It's a 5.
I'll take it. It's better than my last score of like 2.
Wow. He's hard on us Grimericans.
That 5 is generous.
We're here to take it. We're here to take it, though. We can. That's why.
That happened.
What was that?
That was a low.
So is there any other strange stories or events you want to talk about, Justin?
Let's see. I believe, the very first double MoneyBomb winner because I won the one from THC and the Grimerica MoneyBomb.
Yes. Oh my God.
Huh. So you're coming out on top for podcasts,
right?
It pays to listen to podcasts.
Yeah, and it pays to help them out and do newsletters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope you guys are liking the newsletters. I want to thank RPJ for the artwork.
Oh yeah, that's right. And yet another artwork from RPJ.
Yeah. Yeah, it turned out pretty nice.
No, the newsletters have been looking great. Like I say, I encourage people to sign up their friends.
Yeah, I think I got like 34 subscribers now.
If you've already reviewed the show and you've already subscribed to the show, it's enough. Sign up 5 friends. Sign up your whole email list.
Yeah.
We don't care. We won't hold it against you. I'm going to splice in Pat O here too, because we did want to talk about, what was that?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Jungle?
Jungle 2099 or...
welcome to the show. We're here with Darren and Graham, and we got Justin here, our MoneyBomb winner and newsletter subscriber. I think you guys are pretty well acquainted through the website, though, anyway.
Totally.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's nice when 2 of our bloggers get to finally kind of chat.
Yeah, well, we've been Facebook friends for a little bit, so
we're
we've been on each other's.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Go on. Definitely. What's up, guys? How's the show going tonight?
It's going okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Graham's still sick.
Yeah. Well, it's the season for that.
I think he's milking it. So, yeah, I guess this is your first time here, so thanks for all the great blogs you've been writing. People seem to be eating that shit up.
Oh, dude, the honor's mine. I mean, it's nice having an outlet for that stuff, and yeah, totally.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure you get a chance to plug your show there, the Jungle 2099.
Yeah, we reached the Kickstarter goal. We actually went over it, which is awesome. So finished the first draft of the script and sent that out to some people, and hopefully I'm going to get the second draft done by the end of the year, and then get that copyrighted and sent off to the Writers Guild, and then start working on it, start doing the production stuff. So, yeah, hopefully. Well, we're planning to shoot in the spring, and then do it like pretty much in the course of a week, and then turn around and edit it over the summer, and hopefully get it out in some form by the fall. At least screen some festivals, get in some festivals and kind of do that thing. And then depending on what kind of reception it gets, you know, it's more than a possibility that I'll do the DVDs and that kind of distribution stuff myself. I'd love to do Netflix and video on demand, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So.
Can you tell us a bit about it? I mean, we've talked about it on the show a little bit, but does it come from a personal interest of yours about the way we eat meat?
Yeah, you know, I actually, it was Coast to Coast did a show about the ag laws, which are laws that certain states are trying to pass around the Midwest, pretty much prohibiting animal rights activists and journalists even from going undercover and getting jobs at these meat processing plants and slaughterhouses and documenting what goes on inside. They're trying to make that, I mean, that should be like freedom of press. I mean, you should be going in and be able to write about that stuff. But they're kind of trying to put it underneath the umbrella of corporate espionage. And really basically what it is
oh, apparently they don't want you to talk about it.
That's a fucking, that one's off the, that was a buzzword.
What was
wonder
it?
what the word was.
Corporate espionage, maybe?
Yeah, that's what they're using.
Oh, you're breaking up here. We missed you from basically what it was.
Espionage.
Yeah, right after the corporate espionage thing.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of where the ag laws come in, is the states trying to step in and prevent the public from knowing what goes on in these slaughterhouses. That's where the corporate, they're doing it underneath the guise of corporate espionage. That's how they're trying to prevent the public from knowing. So the basic idea for the film was to show that stuff, but to do it kind of in a stylized manner, with humans being treated the same way that animals are. And as Darren himself said, it's going to be a fucking gore fest. There's really no way to do it without having it be. And generally, I'm opposed to the whole torture porn genre of horror. It's definitely not my thing, but I think that there's no way you could tell the story and not have it be just the bloodiest fucking thing you've ever seen. And to know that there's what's behind it, you know what I mean? That this is actually what these animals are going through.
Yeah.
I think it's going to give some weight to it, man. I people were jazzed about it. I mean, I had a lot of, like, Justin kicked in and he was awesome for that, and a lot of my friends and family and shit like that. But there was a lot of people like I didn't even know. You know what I mean? They just kind of caught wind of this through whatever, and were really psyched up about it. And that kind of is the biggest kick in the ass in the world. You know, I mean, you can have a support system of friends and family, you know, that are always going to kind of be behind you and pat you on the head no matter what you do. But when it's complete strangers that got your back and are like, dude, you need to fucking do this. Like, this is going to be great. I mean, that means the world to me. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people think it's a good idea, and I'm excited to move forward with it. So just kind of taking it one step at a time.
Maybe Graham can come down and be an extra and get, like, fucking chopped up, or like.
I will pay for your ticket, Graham.
Dude, you are too old. I got an email from one of the actors that was in that movie Alive, about the soccer team that crashed in the Andes and they all hit each other. Yeah. One of the actors from that movie emailed me and he's like, "Hey, I heard about your project. Like, here's my headshots. I totally want to be in it." And I was like, first of all, like, it was so fucking left field. Like, you know, it was cool that he wrote me, but I'm like, no, it's got to be it's going to be like 18, 19-year-olds. Like, it's going to be younger people, because that's how fitting with. Yeah, well, that's the whole concept behind it, is that it starts off with, like, this pod of individuals kind of living off the land, and they're abducted by these by the people that run the slaughterhouse, the creatures that run the slaughterhouse. And yeah, they're all supposed to be young and kind of grew up out in free range or whatever, and then get put through the processes. So.
Oh shit! So I'm too old for that shit. I look pretty young still.
I think I could still get in.
I don't know.
Maybe if we shave you down a little bit, you know.
I think you could like have a scene where like the people who collect the young people just like overlook, like they throw Graham back, like oh this one's
He's past his prime. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm the one that goes. I'm the one that actually starts telling, like, I'm the whistleblower. Like, I just got fucking abducted, and you don't know what they're doing with these people. Nobody believes me. Kind of like here in Grimerica, really.
right. Darren's like, yeah, 2.5.
One of the things we're doing, at least in the first draft of the script, is there is like really no talking. There's no dialogue. Because if you think about it, if a group of humans grew up, spent 18 years ago, language develops over thousands and thousands of years. So if you have this little group of humans living sequestered from the rest of society, you got about a dozen of them doing their own thing off in the woods. They're not going to have really a language. They're also not going to have clothes either. So that's two of the things that I'm in the first draft that I put in there. Is there's not really a whole lot of dialogue, and everybody's topless at least. So we'll see if that makes it into the second draft or when we shoot it, if it turns out like that. But that's kind of the concept I have for it so far.
Do you do topless, Graham?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
So are you a vegetarian yourself or anything like that?
You know what? I've had to become one because of this movie, because there's no way I could do it and not be, because everyone's going to ask me that fucking question.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So no, I've had to do away with it, and it's going pretty good so far. I'm not into it, just a lot of veggie burritos, a lot of I don't know. I'm not doing the vegan thing. If you follow the philosophy all the way through, you almost got to be vegan, because what happens at the dairy farms aren't much better. But yeah, I'm at least doing the best.
What about if you just get your meat like I get, say for example, get your meat from the farm, get your milk, your eggs local and stuff like that. I mean that's a little better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break down and start doing that just because I'm running out of shit to eat. There's a bunch of, or like Whole Foods. I don't know if they have them up by you guys.
Yeah.
There's places around here where you can get. I mean, it's expensive, but I mean, it's pretty. It's kind of the cultural norm.
I couldn't even imagine.
See, I was a pescatarian for a couple of years,
what
so
the
I
fuck
just
is that? Do you want me to just breathe the sun?
It's just eat fish only. So fish and seafood was okay, and it was during my dad. We were taking him to a Korean spiritual healer, and the Korean guy was like, "Well, you can eat fish, but don't eat meat or chicken or anything like that." And his whole theory, which kind of rang true with me, is about the level of consciousness of like that the cows and the pigs and the chickens know they're gonna die, but the fish weren't really at that level yet. So the fish didn't really know what the fuck was going on. So
yeah.
It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That sucks. I hate fish.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a big fish fan, but I mean, it may come to that point sooner rather than later. So
I could live off fish. Fucking good to go, man.
I was in Vancouver at the time, so the fish was great.
Yeah. We could all become breatharians.
The thing is, I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people because it's not only the animal cruelty part, but also like people are saying about the environment. Like I remember reading once about the amount of water we consume, and apparently your household water, like your showers and your sink and all that crap, is like 3% of the water you consume. Like the rest of it is from like meat eating and stuff like that. So I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why it's kind of going astray.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we just got to dam it up at the border and start selling it to the States.
There's definitely tons of health benefits, and as far as like, I think the culture is right for this kind of movie. I think it's a topic that is going to resonate with a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people out there that are very passionate about this cause, and hopefully every single one of them buys a ticket to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that was my major motivation with tackling this, because I mean, I make lots of short films and do that stuff, and there's tons of ideas. But this is my first full length, and kind of what made me pull the trigger on this one was just realizing, like, this is probably one of the better ideas that I have, and it's kind of got a built-in audience, which is something that you kind of got to think about when you do stuff like this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's no way you would take on just like climbing that mountain and making a film if you didn't think that people were going to dig it. If you didn't think that there was a very good possibility that, outside your friends and family, people were going to want to sit down and watch it. And I think that the concept behind this is enough. It'll spark a lot of interest and hopefully, give me the ability to make another one. So,
fuck yeah, I look forward to it.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, guys.
Well, I suppose we can jump into our chat with Vandeventer. Do you guys know much about Bitcoins?
Yeah, I thought that whole thing was kind of, I thought they kind of did away with it. I know it was hot a couple months ago, but didn't China outlaw it? There was a couple places been trying to shut it down. The government tried to shut it down. Didn't the government seize a whole bunch of them or something?
Yeah, there was some controversy like that too. We try and get into that with Jim Vandeventer here. He's a Bitcoin miner. He's been into it for about a year and a half, so it was a pretty interesting chat.
Controversy.
What's that? What's a controversy?
Controversy.
What's that?
That's how you say it.
No, what is the controversy?
I don't know.
The China thing or the Bitcoin thing?
Wrong.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
I think it's still going strong as far as like the miners are concerned and stuff. And so I think these people think Bitcoin's going to be around for a while, at least in some form.
The whole idea of an alternative currency, like, that's interesting, but I can't imagine the powers that be would ever let that thing fly too high. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much shit at stake. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, for online stuff, like, I guess I've noticed on a bunch of websites they accept Bitcoins. Like, I've started to see that pop up more and more, but how big it'll take off or how much money there is to be made in it, I don't know. I don't think it'll ever replace the dollar or anything.
No, it's impossible, right? Then all of a sudden going to fucking, I can't go to Australia anymore because my fucking
because all your shit's tied up in Bitcoin.
I'm using for money is no fucking good there. They don't know they don't care.
Yeah, I mean
Oh, you're breaking up again.
You have to thing has. Like, really, where's it going to go? Like, where is this thing going to level out? Oh, sorry. No, I mean, yeah, I just think with the Bitcoin, you got to just look at, like, how far is it really going to go? How much is the shit really going to be worth, So, look forward to hearing the conversation.
Yeah, right on. Speaking of that, I just got an email about a new documentary out called Jekyll Island, and it's the truth behind the Federal Reserve. Sounds like it's based on that
Jim Rickards?
That book.
Is it from Jim Rickards?
No.
Who's it from?
I'm not sure. Oh, from Yekra. Yekra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking amount of spam.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Retarded.
So, yeah, anyways, well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll have you on again, Pat, when it comes closer to doing that. We'll plug it again.
Yeah, totally. After the first of the year, we're going to do another fundraising thing. And if anyone wants to get a hold of me regards to the movie, if just anything at all, just shoot me an email. I have one set up just for the movie. It's thejungle2099@gmail.com. If you feel passionate about it, we always need people to help with promotion or graphic design, just anything. You know what I mean? Like, definitely get involved because we're starting out and we need all the hands we can get. So.
Any hotties 18-19 that want to go topless in a movie, just email the Jungle 2099.
Get smeared with blood and shit and treated like cattle. So if that's your thing, give me a call.
If only I was a little bit younger.
What kind of shit?
I don't know. We'll probably just do like chocolate pudding or something. But you guys are welcome to stand around and watch if you want to come down when we're doing it.
All right. Yep. We might take
up on that. To that too. Set up some bleacher seats.
Sweet.
Can we call ourselves producers?
Fucking A.
Sure. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. And I hope all the listeners enjoy our interview with Mr. Jim Vandeventer. Vandeventer. Yeah, enjoy the chat. And we will pick you up at the end. Okay, in Grimerica tonight, we're going to be talking with Jim Vandeventer about everything Bitcoin. We have the one and only Red Pill Junkie joining us for this one. But first, how's it going tonight, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing better and getting over my technical difficulties here today. As Darren mentioned, we've got Jim Vandeventer with us. Now, Jim, he was a former film editor, and he turned into a mobile app developer. He's a gay rights activist, a Bitcoin and karaoke enthusiast. So Jim, a bit of his story, he happened upon Bitcoin in discussion early last year, and he was skeptical at first, but he built a miner and has been earning Bitcoins ever since. So we kind of want to talk to him about that. We've wanted to have this Bitcoin episode for a while now. And when my buddy Mark said that we got to chat with Jim, I kind of jumped on it and said we should get, a friend of a friend on the show to talk about Bitcoin and see how it goes. So welcome to Grimerica, Jim, and of course, Red Pill Junkie.
Glad to be here.
Right on, man. So I guess, tell us a bit about how you stumbled across Bitcoin. I mean, I heard about it years ago, and I almost kind of invested in it, but I really never did the proper investigation into kind of how it worked. So you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. I don't remember when exactly I heard about it. It was probably a few times hearing about it before I bothered to look it up. When I did, it still looked kind of sketchy. And even now, it still has a way of looking kind of sketchy. But I don't know. I figured, let's see. Where do I begin? This is a big topic. But yeah, I decided to build a miner, which basically means I'm handling the financial transactions of the network. And I figured, if Bitcoin collapses and goes away, I still have the money in the hardware. I can sell that and get most of my investment back.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So a miner. So that means that you build something that people. How does that work? People do something in the computer and it actually garners Bitcoins?
Well, what the miners on the network do is they collect transactions into a block, and they then cryptographically compete with each other to try and solve that block, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And when a miner does solve a block of transactions from the previous 10 minutes, they're paid out a reward of so many Bitcoins. Currently, that's 25.
25 Bitcoins?
Yes, but
wow.
it's pretty fierce competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
May I ask what regulates the competition? Because right now I'm thinking, what will prevent someone with a big computer farm? Like maybe the guys in Pixar, when they are not rendering a big movie. What will prevent them from using all their awesome computer horsepower into mining Bitcoins, out of the wazoo?
Nothing. There are huge farms of Bitcoin miners currently. There's been a lot of discussion about that. I don't know how much you know of it. The talk of the 51% attack, so to speak, where if someone has the majority hashing power of the network, they can invalidate their old transactions, do a bit of a double spending. So there is that does exist. There is so much hashing power on the network, it's very unlikely that will happen. And it's not like it's something you can do anonymously, and there are still traditional, you'd be easily found out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to go, maybe step backward, going first into the basics of what Bitcoin is, maybe when did it start? Who were the ones who started the whole movement? There's been a lot of talk about the identity of the guy who allegedly was behind the original source code, the guy by the name of Nakamoto, that the Newsweek's magazine allegedly, uncover his identity, but it's been like largely rejected, by most of the people behind Bitcoin, isn't it?
Yeah, Jim, let's do that. Let's start if you can help us understand the history of it and all that, because I'm a little bit unfamiliar with it too.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. It began, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2009, in a cryptography forum. This guy or woman or people under the name Satoshi Nakamoto presented this idea of the decentralized network, this concept for a digital currency that was self-regulating. I don't know a lot of the details because I only got into it last year.
Yeah.
But it sort of apparently snowballed from there. There were shenanigans along the way. Let's see, what was the next point we were going to hit on?
Well,
let's start with like how it actually works, right? Like how not the process necessarily, but why?
Money?
Yeah, why?
Why is it worth money?
Yeah.
Why is it that a bunch of computer algorithms that are processed in someone's computer, suddenly, all these people agree that that is worth a currency, that can be exchanged and traded for commodities?
Well, I guess basically because that's how much people are willing to pay for it.
And is it used as a new style? So it's not used like money traditionally, right? Because it's kind of it's sort of trading goods and services, isn't it?
It can be used as money. Yes, it was designed to be like cash.
Huh.
So yeah, it can definitely be used as money. I buy things every now and then, but yeah, it's I'm also holding on to some just because I think there's a good chance it has a future.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like I guess why it has value to me. I like the idea of like a grassroots currency. Basically, it belongs to the people. So.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've been getting about the whole Bitcoin movement, that seems to be very appealing for people of a libertarian kind of mindset. The idea of people who don't want either the governments or banks or companies to have their eyes or their hands, sticking inside their accounts and their whole their business, right? So that seems to be one of the reasons why a lot of people have decided to move into this nascent Bitcoin economy. And of course, that also has the downside of, at least it seems that people who are doing, shall we say, illegal activities also decided to make use of Bitcoin. Are we right or wrong in thinking that this?
Sorry, I'm not sure if I.
So the idea is, there are a lot of people and a lot of reasons why Bitcoin will be appealing, right? Like you say, you yourself say that you like the idea of a grassroots type of economy, and I totally get it. The idea that people get empowered and have a system of economy that is like peer-to-peer, and that neither governments or big corporations become intermediaries, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, but is there also the case that people who want to conduct illegal transactions also choose this sort of cryptocurrency in order to live as less traces as possible?
It isn't as anonymous as people tend to think it is. I don't think it would be a good first choice for illegal activity, although it obviously has been used for that reason. If you recall Silk Road, yeah. So it has been, of course. It's a currency, but it still seems like cash is going to dominate that market for quite some time, at least.
That's interesting. So, can you tell us a bit about how the process works? Like, you've got a miner that creates an opportunity to get Bitcoin. So, how does that work? And then, if I was to get Bitcoins myself, how would I go use those Bitcoins?
All right. Well, if you were going to use Bitcoins, you would first need a wallet. They come in a lot of varieties. You can have one installed on your computer, mobile device. There are web versions that run in a browser. You have a lot of options there, but you would need a wallet. You would need to get Bitcoins into that wallet. In Canada, there are a couple ways of doing that. Vault of Satoshi, for one thing, is a Canadian exchange. You can link it to your bank account and transfer money in.
So you can actually buy them with cash then?
Yeah.
Or so there's a couple different ways. You could mine them, or you could buy them like outright. Right.
Or or for your podcast, I mean, you can accept donations in Bitcoin or so on. Once someone sends you money, the network will pick it up, and it will start to be accepted by everyone who's running a node, which is anyone who's running a full client. That is, let's see, I'll explain that now. A full node is someone who has a full copy of the transaction record, which every transaction gets stored in a shared a ledger. So
okay.
Right. So there's a record of every transaction ever made. If you have a full node, you have a copy of that record. And when a payment is accepted by the network, it's compared to that. Just a quick verification that money exists. Then what the miners do is they will collect those transactions that have been submitted to the network, and about every 10 minutes they will do the real verification to make sure you haven't spent that money before. And then you should see the money in your account immediately when someone pays you. But after 10 minutes have elapsed, it will have what is known as a confirmation. It's been locked into a block.
Okay.
Every 10 minutes after that is another confirmation, just more and more security that transaction, that money now does in fact belong to you.
Okay.
All right. Did that make any sense?
Yes, totally. That helped me visualize the whole process. So that's good.
Yeah. So there is a whole register of every transaction ever made with Bitcoins, and everybody can get a copy of that.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. I have a question. Could you please explain us what happened with this exchange group in Japan, Mt. Gox, that seems that last year something happened to them, they were hacked, and apparently they lost like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. I don't know the full story. I don't know if anyone knows the full story there.
I think so. I think that, that nobody has the whole picture.
Yeah, they say they were hacked. Not everyone believes that. Some people think embezzlement. Whatever happened, yes, they went out of business. A lot of people lost money there because when you had money at that exchange, when you had Bitcoins at that exchange, they weren't, how do I put this? You didn't actually have Bitcoins. What they essentially gave you was an honor note kind of thing that when you were ready to cash out, they would then, buy those Bitcoins for you. And and give them to you, which, it didn't work out for them because they didn't have the money to pay everyone. So
yeah, it seems that they got too big too quickly and they got sloppy.
That is probably what happened. That is, or at least in part, what happened. 'Cause I don't think anyone saw Bitcoin growing as fast as it did.
So I can't understand where the ones that are being mined, where is that coming from? Like, is that coming out of someone's pocket or like?
They are generated by the network. They come out of I believe that's called the Coinbase, but the network just generates currently 25 coins about every 10 minutes when a block is solved. So those are new coins. They're not coming from anyone's wallet. The miners do also however, get transaction fees. So if you send a transaction, you can tag on a miner fee to get your transaction processed at a higher priority. It's not required for all transactions, but it's pretty standard.
Is that how the Bitcoin people, if you call them that, would make money on the exchanges? Like, how do they make, or is there people that would make money on every exchange?
Well, on the exchanges, you would make money, I guess, just by trading Bitcoins for another currency and then back again, because it's so volatile in its value.
Right. So nobody really makes money on the exchange itself, though, right?
Not like PayPal.
Not like PayPal.
Well, that would be something different, where you'd have where you could choose to have a middleman process the payment for you. I thought PayPal was going to accept Bitcoin. PayPal lets merchants accept Bitcoin now, don't they?
Oh, I don't know. Darren was mentioning how they take money from every transaction, right? So, like, when somebody donates to our show, like not a big portion, but a portion goes to PayPal.
Yeah, every transaction they get a small cut.
Yeah, small enough to make a difference in our wallet, that's for sure.
Yeah, because we're talking about hundreds of thousands of transactions every day.
Yeah.
Right. Standard miner fee is, I think, the equivalent of about 4 cents right now for a transaction. But
just very reasonable.
It's very reasonable, and for small transactions, I don't think that's even required at all. You can send it without any miner fee.
So, how often do you mine out a Bitcoin? Or do you work with a team? Like,
well, my miners are working 24/7, and they,
you slave driver, you.
You don't have any sweatshops in China with people who are, stuck to the monitors, every single day with no bathroom breaks, right?
Yeah, no. Whenever any manual labor needs to be done, that's all me. But for the most part, it is set it and forget it, and they just run all the time. But working with a team, sort of. I do mine through a pool, which means myself as well as a bunch of other miners pool our resources together. So together we have more hashing power, and then we each split up the payouts according to how much we've all contributed.
A question is, so the entire system is based on the fact that there will only be a limited amount of Bitcoins, right?
Right.
So I don't remember the exact date, but after, I think, 100 years or so, there will be, 25,000 Bitcoin?
I think it's the year 2140. There is going to be 21 million Bitcoins in existence, and that's all that's ever going to be created.
Okay, so my question is, does the system suffer if there is any loss of Bitcoins? Because I've read stories, I think our friends in Mysterious Universe, I think that they once carried a story about a guy who lost his computer. I think he mistakenly dumped it on the trash bin, back in the days when he was mining bitcoins, and they weren't really worth a lot of money. But then the whole market boomed, and the guy was really trying to see how he will be able to retrieve that hard drive, because by then, it was worth like tens of millions of dollars. So am I right in understanding that the bitcoins this guy mined were lost forever?
Unless someone finds that hard drive and can retrieve the wallet file, yes, they are lost forever.
Okay.
So nowadays you're protected because you've probably got it on multiple platforms.
Oh,
you can have the same wallet on your desktop, your laptop, your phone.
I definitely have multiple copies of my wallets. Yes. Yes, I did. Fortunately, it didn't cost me $10 million to learn that. But yeah, that unfortunate. But no, there's no way he can retrieve those otherwise.
So if the dollar goes to shit, then I suppose like in 100 years, the people who are mining the bitcoins now or who are out in front of that will be like the new Rothschilds. We'll just have like half the fucking bitcoins in the world.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Definitely.
Have you seen it grow since you've been involved? Like, even though it's been volatile, there's been obviously lots of scandals and lots of shit going on since you've got involved. Have you seen like a growth of interest still? Like, is it steadily gaining some ground?
I would think so. It looks like the people who are involved in the community now are there. Yeah, it seems like there is a lot of growth. Definitely. I don't know if there is attrition as well. I mean, that's harder to gauge just by interacting with the community. But it does seem like it's growing.
But the thing that gets me is that it seems that the Bitcoin market is as vulnerable to speculation, even hearsay, as the rest of the stock market. For example, I've seen how when China announced that they were not going to allow Bitcoin to enter their markets, that the Bitcoin market suffered a huge crash. And then they later say, well, on second thoughts, yeah, I think we're going to let Bitcoins in. So my point is that maybe those kinds of hearsay and say, oh, I heard that, I don't know, Mercedes-Benz is going to accept Bitcoin. And then, the Bitcoins, go up. And then someone will say, you know what, I heard that Virgin Galactic is not going to accept Bitcoins for their space travel anymore. And then, boom, that goes down. So this kind of like is speculation and hearsay and myths and gossips, it seems that Bitcoin is equally vulnerable to those kinds of claims or nonsense as the rest of the quote unquote normal stock market exchange.
Sure. Yeah.
So how do you prevent that? How do you like secure or make Bitcoin like
More
less
stable or?
More stable? Exactly, because the thing that for me, the thing that kind of still makes me a bit hesitant about Bitcoin is seeing how like
Volatile
is. Exactly, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down so rapidly and so insanely without any kind of like stability. And I think that people with a day job, what they want is at least the illusion of stability, the idea that, hey, you put your money in a savings account in a bank and it's there, right? It's actually not there. We know that
it's
banks.
It's been loaned out 10 times, but anyways.
Exactly. If every customer in a bank went on the same day and demanded, "Hey, I want my money back," the bank will collapse.
Yeah.
But that, in principle, the idea is that your money is fairly secure, on a given day. except if there's some kind of revolution or except some kind of really dire catastrophe on the country or on the economy. Your money is there, but for my end, it seems that Bitcoin hasn't reached that level of stability. Maybe they don't want that level of stability. Maybe that's the appealing part of it.
Well, no, it doesn't have a stable value. Totally agree with that. It took some getting used to. It's a roller coaster watching your investment grow and shrink within a day. Hundreds of dollars at a time sometimes. So no, it's not going to be for everyone now. I guess I think of myself as an early adopter because it's still very geeky and hard to get a hold of. But yeah, I don't know. I see potential in it. And I want to watch how it grows, and I kind of want to be a part of it. So I don't know if Bitcoin does, if it does go away and I lose my coins, I guess so be it. I've made peace with that now. But I don't know. It has a lot of potential. So I'm kind of betting even if Bitcoin goes away, something like it is going to survive. This technology seems very important.
Yeah, like Napster. Like Napster, that was the first system of in which you could download music online illegally. But then, it was eventually replaced by, iTunes, right? And all the other systems of music download.
Yeah, well, I guess in some ways, Bitcoin is a lot like BitTorrent, where you have basically you have a swarm with nodes all sharing this information. So it's just it's just secure enough that you can keep a record of an absolute record of how much value everyone has at any given time.
So how do I get started? Like, can I I've got my MacBook Air. Can I just start mining some shit with that?
Get a wallet. Buy a wallet.
I wasn't asking you, Graham.
You can start mining with your MacBook Pro. You're probably not going to make very much money at all, and you're going to kill your computer.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Can't you hear the fan on his right now?
Yeah.
Now we know.
What about my phone?
No, man.
Again, possible, but not. It probably not going to be worth it.
So you got to build like a crazy computer. Is that how with a bunch of fans or?
Pretty much, yeah. My miners have like 5 graphics cards in them. So yeah, just a big, single-purpose beast.
Wow. That's
so yeah. At this point, I wouldn't recommend mining to people just getting started. It's very competitive. It's an arms race, and if you're not into keeping up, you're gonna be. You're gonna be out of the game sooner than later.
Huh. That's interesting. So I was a huge fan of the Zeitgeist movies and all that, and this Thrive series. So and I think the culture's changing. I think that's why this is gonna stay in one form or another. This has got to stay there for people because people are just getting sick of the whole world being based on debt, right? Somebody's like, we're all debt slaves, really, from personal, credit cards to, countries being indebted, the whole economic hitman thing going on. And I mean, I even heard on a podcast the other day about this program, this website for kids to go on and earn money through doing their chores and a way for their parents to keep track of all their activities, and it's like basically teaching them how to be a freaking debt slave, and it's sponsored by the Citibank or the Bank of America. When you get down to who's actually running the shit, it's the fucking bank. So they're needling their way in at a young age, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you watch any of that interest you, like the Zeitgeist things or this resource-based economy, or is that why you got attracted to Bitcoins? Because you're already thinking that, or did Bitcoins get you thinking that way?
A combination of both, probably. Bitcoin got me thinking about it more, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know where I was going with that.
Have you watched that, guys, at all?
I've seen the first one. Yes, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
I have seen it.
They go over it again in the next two too. I mean, and these are old documentaries, but it was strong enough documentary to create a movement, and it definitely brought more awareness to how we're getting fucked over by the banks. I mean, it's people are, I think, moving towards credit unions more, and now I wonder if this is kind of one of the solutions, is digital currency.
Could be. It's a contender.
So what about other ones? Is there other ones?
What's one I can get in cheap that has possible?
Like Feathercoin, is that one, or what?
Dogecoin, I think there's also, there seems to be Doge, like the dog, the meme. No, that like the dog, the meme dog. The
meme dog.
Yeah. I guess it's pronounced Doge.
Jim knows what I'm talking
Dogecoin.
about.
Yeah, it's
Dogecoin.
I like Dogecoin. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but I like it. It is a good entry point for people to get into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, because I guess basically it's fun, and they aren't worth a lot, so you can experiment, and if you lose it, I don't know, you lose a few bucks. But yeah, there's Dogecoin. Feathercoin you mentioned. I don't even know if that one is still around.
What about Litecoin? Is that one too?
Litecoin is still around, yes. I don't know. Litecoin strikes me as a bit of a middle child. I don't really know what to make of it.
Right. So there's definitely more out there than Bitcoin.
There's probably hundreds. Yeah.
But Bitcoin's clearly out in front.
Bitcoin is leading by far currently, anyway. Yes.
And next, we would say is Dogecoin.
Doge.
Not in value, but
no, in popularity. That's
popularity.
Perhaps in popularity. Yes, it's the other one that's very popular.
So I got a question here from my buddy Mark. He says, as someone who knows nothing about Bitcoin, why should I be interested?
I don't know. The potential is what I find interesting. I mean, the currency part is kind of like a proof of concept, where the real value, I think, is in this blockchain invention, where you have a shared ledger, which can be applied to all sorts of things. Like one of the other key examples is elections, fraud-proof elections, because everyone has a copy of the record.
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. Have you?
Vote, patent pending, bitches.
So the technology could be implemented to other things besides currency exchange.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, it's only a matter of time before some progressive nation starts turning democracy into like a real thing, like it should be, into voting on issues.
Every
right?
transaction you make, they know where you are. And everybody does, and you're just part of.
They already know that anyways.
Part of the collective,
They already know that
flying
anyways.
around space in a cube.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is all still pretty young technology. There are going to be a lot of problems to work out.
Has the United States government announced any kind of move to regulate Bitcoin?
As I understand it, New York has some sort of Bitcoin regulation. I'm actually not totally up to speed on what that is. Other than that, I don't think so. Not yet. It's being treated as for tax purposes. It's what's that called now? Sorry, brain fart.
No, I think I know what you're getting at, though. Like,
yeah, because I don't know how the government, the federal government, sees Bitcoin. Is it a currency? Is it a commodity? Is it a stock? You know, is it a hobby?
Canadian government does not see it as a currency. No, according to them, it doesn't meet the threshold for being accepted as a currency. It's a
because it's not based on some phantom.
No, because it's not
fucking guy creating out of nowhere and based
no
on
because
debt.
because it's not backed by any sovereign nation.
Well, as far as Canada's announcement, it's because of the volatility. But I don't know.
I was being sarcastic.
How hard is it to sell them? Like, could you just go tomorrow? Could you cash out tomorrow at market value, no problem, or is it a hassle?
No, I could cash out. How the easiest way to do that, I guess, there are ATMs now. I could just go to one of those machines and cash out there.
Like a virtual ATM, you mean?
No, there are real life ATMs.
Really?
There are.
Where?
Well, there's several in the Vancouver area, and I believe there's a couple in Victoria as well.
Bitcoin ATM?
That's right, yeah.
So who pays for that infrastructure?
Yeah,
Like, who
installed them? Yeah.
Just small startups, I guess, bought the ATMs, and they maintain them, they manage them, they
charge a little fee or whatever out of it, or
I'm sure they do, yes.
Yeah, it's obvious.
There's your fucking Rothschilds.
So would you recommend that we set up our podcast so that people, because that's part of our model here now is a value for value. Like, we have expenses here. We don't do this for money. We don't charge any fees at all. Should we set up, I know some podcasts that do accept Bitcoins. Is that something you think we should do in the near future?
Sure. I think it's a good idea, and there are easy ways to get started. There are services, I think the big ones are Coinbase and BitPay. They have APIs. You just plug them in, and they handle all the back end stuff for you.
Interesting. Huh. So is there can you buy a lot of stuff now on Bitcoin? Like, is it getting to the point where you can actually have a lot of freedom out there on the market, or?
Well, that's getting better all the time. It's still lacking.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Although
now that Silk Road's down, it's lacking, or?
Oh no, nothing to do with Silk Road. It's just I don't know. I mean, there are definitely places that do accept it. I don't think I could live off of Bitcoin alone.
Right. Yeah.
It's not at that point yet.
Yeah, you can't buy your groceries.
The ATM you can though.
That's true.
That's true, but I'm still exchanging it for dollars in between.
But what about the early adopters of Bitcoin? Did any of those guys become millionaires after
it climbed up to its peak?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know any of them personally, but yeah, definitely they must have.
So Jim, you make apps too, eh? Apps for phones and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How's that going? Like, everything is so mobile based now, right? It's crazy. Like, you can live in some ways with your phone or without your computer for quite a while.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty nice. Thing is, I moved to Vancouver Island. There was a film studio here, which is why I came. That went out of business, unfortunately, so I had to find something else to do. So, yeah, so that's how I got into that.
Oh, okay. And it's working okay for you?
Yeah, I'm liking it more than I thought I might, so.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
So do you have anything else you want to tell listeners, or anything that you think we need to cover talking about the Bitcoin thing? Like, I've learned a lot. I can visualize the whole process now. I've just sort of been avoiding the details of Bitcoin, so it's been helpful for me.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything I suppose I would caution people from jumping in. It is, I mean, it's still very geeky, and even people who are geeks themselves have been losing their money. So if you are going to get started, start with a small amount until you're comfortable with it. Just buy $10 worth, play around with it. if you lose it, shed a tear and move on. But I mean, yeah, don't jump in head first. It's not really ready for that yet. It's yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Where would you like to see Bitcoin moving in the next, I don't know, 10 years?
Bitcoin, the currency, I would like to see it. I guess accepted, living alongside the dollar and other national currencies. The underlying technology of Bitcoin, I don't know where that's going to go. And the not knowing is pretty exciting, but definitely things are going to change. A lot of things. So
the idea of for example, that every smartphone out there, has embedded some kind of cryptographic technology in order to ensure that all our communications and all our even economic exchanges are completely secured outside the eyes, not only of hackers but also government agencies.
Well, definitely security has got to be beefed up, as we've seen recently. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one thing. I don't know. Another, I'm hoping we'll start to see mesh networks replacing internet service providers as we are able to incentivize any kind of network in the future. So.
What are those?
Well, rather than, I guess one way you could implement it is have a series of interlocking wireless routers where you can move seamlessly from one network to the other. And for providing resources to the network, you get paid out in, I don't know, internet coin or whatever.
Oh,
okay.
Kind of like what Shaw does right now with their Shaw Wi-Fi thing.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Huh.
Kind of, where you can share your Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, right.
Safely, yeah. But yeah, we now have a way of perhaps sidestepping the ISPs. So, so I don't know. It's going to be, like I've said 100 times by now, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Red, do you have any other questions for Jim?
Well, kind of the only last question that I have is something of an entry into conspiracy mode here. The idea of what will happen if tomorrow someone invents some kind of quantum computer capable of processing the kind of computer computer algorithms that gets you to mine bitcoins, and it takes you X amount of time. What will happen if someone tomorrow invents a quantum computer that can do all those processes, in an instant?
Well, if someone invents that and is the only person to have that technology, they could, I guess, potentially take over the network. And I don't know, either Bitcoin would adapt or it would die and something new and better would take its place. I imagine.
See, if someone bought them all up, had them all, it would probably just become worthless anyway.
Yeah, that is one of the things. If it's insecure, it's not going to have any value. So there isn't a lot of motivation to destroy the network.
So Red, you mean that if somebody brought the quantum computer that was already developed for the black ops world into the commercial white world, you mean?
Yeah, for example, and this is,
I'm just kidding. I'm just being
my tinfoil hat is firmly placed on my head here right now. But the idea that maybe the NSA or another agency already has those sorts of technologies, and maybe the reason why the U.S. government isn't really taking a firm stance in the whole Bitcoin thing is because it benefits them, the idea that it's still something of a wild west, and they happen to have, the bigger gun, hidden inside their trench coats.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if they do. I don't know if someone does attack the network. The network has responded in the past. It will respond again. If nobody can do anything significant about the problem and Bitcoin does go under, something new and better that can deal with that problem will take its place.
Yeah, that seems to be like the mindset of the people backing up the technology, is the idea that even if Bitcoin fails, it will the next competitor will learn from those past mistakes, and it will create a much better product in the end.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for Bitcoin, but if it doesn't succeed, we start again, I guess.
Yeah, that's a healthy attitude, though. I mean, in general, you pave the way for bigger and better things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead there.
Do you have a cell number? Do you have a magic number where you're dumping them all?
I thought you meant cell phone number. I was like, hey, shut up.
I have a lot of wallets where at the end of every month I'll dump my earnings into a new wallet just so I'm not keeping all my eggs in one basket.
Mm.
Wow, that's interesting. Huh.
What about like a market value? Is there like, if it hits 3,000, they're all gone or anything like that?
Do I cash out at any amount?
Yeah. Have you calculated like when it's good to like just retire and move to that tropical island?
That condo in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I don't think I've attached that to any dollar amount. More like when I feel like, when I'm worn out and it's time to throw in the towel, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, good plan. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll stay on the roller coaster for now, anyway.
All right, Jim. Well, I don't know. It's been a learning experience for me. We really thank you for coming on the Grimerica show.
Okay, it was fun. I hope I explained things well enough.
Oh yeah, no, it
was.
It was good. It's about time we kind of figured out what was going on with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Very instructional.
Yeah, we'll send you a note when we get set up, and you can donate to the show that way. You can be our inaugural donator.
I will. Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, thanks for having me on the show. Let me know if you have any more questions in the future.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jim. Are we still on?
Hello?
Yeah, we are.
That was interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's I still have a hard time wrapping my head around how you actually
it is, yeah. It is a very well, but basically the idea is that your computer is going to be playing all these mathematical games, and after a while the computer will solve the mathematical problem, and that is what creates a Bitcoin. So basically, yeah, the thing that we don't seem to get is that it really is like money out of thin air, literally, at least the people on Bitcoin are the most honest about it.
Yeah, it's not like money out of thin air from the banks who charge debt.
Yeah, it is imaginary. Yeah, it is imaginary money. The people who are into the market know it, and they are cool with it.
Yeah. Huh.
Seems crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I have trouble following all that.
Yeah, there's a very very good article that was published on Wired magazine. I might try to share it with you. The fierce battle for the soul of Bitcoin.
For the what of Bitcoin? For the soul
the
of
soul, yeah, because there seems to be like two reigning models in order for the people who are backing the technology. So there are two different philosophies about how Bitcoin should grow and proceed. So on the one hand, we would like to jump on it, and it will be, easy to understand and easy to handle, right? And that would mean that it will be a system that is very, very customized for the client, very easy with a lot of backing, a lot of, support, but also less security, right?
Yeah.
And on the other hand are the people who maybe are more on the mindset of Jim, people who are of a much more geeky mindset, who love the idea of Bitcoin because it gives me gives them such security of their money, and that they want to uphold the security aspect of it above trying to make it easy for us noobs. They don't care if people like you and I don't really understand the technology. They prefer it that way. And if someone like Jim, loses his wallet, well, sucks to be him. That's why Jim he has so many wallets, because the idea is that if you have your wallet in your smartphone and someone installs your smartphone, or your smartphone, dies on you on a vacation because you went on you took a dive on a pool and you forgot to take out your phone from your pocket, and that's where you kept the Bitcoin with all your savings. Well, sucks to be you, but that's the way they liked it. So there's these two philosophies, and right now it seems that the two are trying to compete in order to try to model the rest of the Bitcoin markets.
I don't know. It sounds to me like somebody's kind of just speculating on the future of Bitcoin. I mean, what I thought could be a big
seems like a stock to me. It's not a currency; it's a stock.
Yeah. I think that there is a guy who's been on Joe Rogan several times, and he's seems to be one of the major spokespersons for Bitcoin. He has some kind of Greek name or something, and he's the one who has explained Bitcoin to Joe, and he tells people, don't think of Bitcoin as a currency. Don't translate all your savings into Bitcoin, because you're going to lose your shirt off. The idea is that you only have on Bitcoin format the kind of cash that you want to have handy in order to carry out electronic transactions, right? For example, if I, in order for pay for giving an example, my Netflix account, to buy things on Amazon, maybe to donate to Grimerica and all my favorite, podcasts online, to maybe to make donations to some campaigns, and that's it.
Yeah. Because what if there's a big catastrophe, right? What if there's a massive, whether it's a freaking meteor or a big, some sort of big, thing that shuts down our electronics, right?
Yeah.
At least you have some dollars under your pillow or in your mattress that you might be able to use later on as real currency. But if you just have money in electronic bank or digital currency, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, because like I told you, at the end of the day, a currency, the way that we understood it in the last, 3-5 centuries or so, has to be backed by a sovereign nation. So the German marks,
but backed by a sovereign nation, but sold to that nation by a bank.
Okay, yes,
that's what fucking gets me about it.
Don't think that's universal. That's you are talking about the American Fed, but I can tell you that system is not followed by many countries in the world. I mean, in Mexico, we have the National Bank of Mexico. That's the one who has our gold reserves or whatever, and that's the one that backs up our currency, and that's the one who is in charge of printing the Mexican pesos. So those pesos are in theory, they are backed. They are vouched by our national bank, right? So, I understand the whole thing about the fiat currency in the United States.
Yeah.
So FDR or whatever took them out of the gold standard. So now that money is backed by the United States government. Like their worth. That they're giving a universal IOU on the rest of the world. Say, hey, you know, this money is worth something because we say so, right? Because hey, I don't know, you know those guys, but so we are going to pay you eventually.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
But yeah, the problem is that Bitcoin, if it will be cool if maybe some kind of small country will say, fuck it, we're going to withdraw our currency and we are going to adopt Bitcoin as our national currency. That will be interesting. And in fact, I'm sure that some libertarians will dream of someday trying to accomplish that. In that article that I'm referring to on Wired Magazine, there's this guy who I think is now living here in Mexico, in Acapulco, and he seems to be trying to convince some of his Bitcoin pals that they might try to live in some South American nation and trying to convince the people in the president of that nation to almost create some kind of little small sovereign state,
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, like
Grimerica.
yeah, the Grimerica nation, and you will have the Grimeric coin.
And the Grimericon and the Grimericorp. So it's interesting to me that this technology really could facilitate democracy in a better way, right? Like the old Greeks used to actually, vote on real issues, right? Like what democracy was supposed to be, instead of having this representative farce of a government. We could actually have issues and have it visible to everybody. I mean, that would be interesting for one of these little nations to try that out.
Well, the idea that every single transaction is recorded, that is very, very interesting, because that, for example, I, as a Mexican private citizen, if I want to know, the assets and the of a given politician, I have to go and ask for it, under certain information, agency, a transparency agency, and the guy might refuse, and say, "Hey, none of your fucking business how much money I have," even though that you, the private citizen, has been paying my salary through your tax-paying dollars or tax-paying pesos.
Mm.
But now with Bitcoin, maybe there will be a way in which, you will try to say, hey, every single people in government, even though we might not know their names, but we have to record every single transaction they make,
Yeah, exactly. Huh. I've been wanting to do a show on that too. I haven't talked to Darren about it yet, about I don't know, kind of these new Earth or these new type of societies that are sort of popping up, or at least concepts of societies that are sort of.
That would be cool. Utopias?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we need to get a hold on some some radical libertarian. The guys who want the guys who want to buy some oil refinery in the middle of the sea, and proclaim it this is the nation of Miguelandia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of it's wacky in a way, because okay, so you guys want to be a sovereign nation. Okay, good luck trying to defend yourselves from the Somali pirates who might come and pillage and rape your ass, and then you might go and want to cry and say, oh yeah, but we are American citizens. Yeah, no, tough luck, bitch. You're on your own. You're on your own now.
Right on. That was a fun little episode.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think the guy was a bit hesitant because he didn't really know how to answer the questions. Maybe he's not really used to be interviewed on a podcast.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things, is I wanted to get somebody on too that's not, that's different. That's not necessarily in the mainstream sort of media outlet.
Yeah,
get a different take on it. So
yeah, but I really liked Jim's honesty. About this. I like this. Maybe it's not for everyone, but I'm into it. And I'm going with I'm all for the ride.
Yeah. No, that was good. I'm really glad you came along, Red, because you had a lot of good questions, and once again, very articulate.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's about it for that one, Darren.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
And welcome back to the Grimerica show. That was our chat with Jim Vandeventer about the Bitcoins. Thanks, Jim, for coming on. What do you think, Darren?
Kind
of caught you off guard a little bit.
For Bitcoins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, like right from the get-go, the Bitcoins, I don't know if it's that I don't know enough about it, or I don't know but I don't trust it, or maybe it's just my history with PC computers. Seems like anything that's just stored on that one computer seems fucking sketchy. I guess you can make copies, so then I don't know. The whole thing seems weird to me.
That's why I wanted to have Jim on to get and he did. He gave us a good detailed outlook of the process, right? The actual process, because I couldn't really wrap my head around that either. So at least we got that. I thought he'd be a bit more into global monetary conspiracies and stuff like that, like somebody who would be into mining Bitcoins,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know more than I did before.
Yeah, that's good.
It would have been nice to know more. But I don't know, I don't know, maybe the Bitcoins, it seems like it's dying off. Do you think it'll keep going up?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a need for an alternative currency.
Well, I think at the time we did the interview, it was at 475 or something like that. So when are we doing the outro now? A month later? Yeah, a month later.
Yep, sure, approximately.
427. It might have been that last time too. It's hard to say. But that's way less than 1,000. Do you have any? Do you own any?
No, I almost did in 2009 when they first came out.
How much were they then?
I have no idea.
Cheap. Way cheaper than $400 probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pennies.
Yeah.
Pennies.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was right after the Zeitgeist movies came out, and I was like, oh, this is Bitcoin thing. But anyways.
You thought you were changing the world.
No, I had no idea I'd be changing the world.
And you didn't. You passed up on the opportunity.
Yeah.
If you would have just bought those Bitcoins.
Yeah. I wouldn't have to podcast.
The butterfly effect, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe it's not too late.
Buy one.
Anyways, thanks,
Can you
Jim,
print
for
it out?
on.
Can you print out? Do you think you just print out your Bitcoin and frame it?
Yeah, probably.
It's like some code, some ones and zeros.
The QR code kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, big thanks to Jim for coming on. Big thanks to RPJ for joining us for that one as well.
And for also for the intro with Justin and Pat O.
Oh, yeah, we had a whole parade of guests this episode.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed that. We talked with MoneyBomb, Grimerica.ca/MoneyBomb. Support the show, support a value for value model. Check out the newsletter, Grimerica.ca/news. Sign yourself up. If you already signed up, sign up your friends. Review the show where you can, Grimerica.ca/iTunes. I think you can review us on Stitcher and shit too. Wherever you're listening, shoot us a review. Leave us a voicemail. Am I forgetting anything?
Spam and Graham.
Spam and Graham. Graham at Grimerica.ca.
Graham.
.com.
Yeah. Graham at Grimerica.com.
Fuck yeah. Spam them.
Thanks, buddy.
Spam them. And as usual, check out the show notes. We'll have notes to everything we talked about, Pat O's stuff, the Grimerica ripped off Moai. Is there anything to link to from Vandeventer? Anyway, check the show notes. Everything will be there, as well as all the music you heard in this episode. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Who do we have next week? Next release is our Crop Circle artist.
Faker. Crop Circle Faker.
That's what I would call it. Which is a good episode for me. Changed some outlooks. So you'll have to tune in next week to find out whose outlook got changed.
Right on.